So Crystal can paint the fence in 9, Joe can paint in 10. So you're just gonna put 1/10 plus 1/9 because you're taking their times separately. And then 1/TB. Do we know how long it takes them together to paint the fence? We don't know off the top of our head. Usually if you work together with someone, does a project take you shorter or longer? Yeah, it might depend on, if we're an entrepreneur and we're working with a partner, it might sometimes slow us down. But ideally, it should help us go a little bit faster. So it's actually going to be a smaller number than 19. So we're going to solve for it. So the way you're going to do that, go ahead and grab both papers, guys. I'm going to keep going. Just remember, I start on time. So whether you're here or not, I'm starting rocking and rolling. I do have to mark tardy. So please try to be on time. All right. So what you're going to look for is, see how you have 10 and 9 here. What is the common denominator, or what is the, I don't know if you guys know common denominator. Do you guys know common denominator? Okay. So 10 and 9, what number do those both go into? Or what's 10 times 9? That's the easiest way to do it. Yeah. So the easiest way to do it is to go like 10 times 9 is 90, right? So if I wanted this denominator to be 90, what would I need to multiply the 10 by? By 9. Good. So we're going to multiply that by 9. And if we multiply the bottom by 9, what do we have to multiply the top by? While we do notes, I don't want any talking because we got a quiz tomorrow. We're doing a review. You're fine. I was going to say we should all probably sit separately because yesterday we were too chatty. I was working with people and I could not focus. And I also get headaches sometimes if it's too loud. So. Okay, Michael does well with everybody, I'm gonna be honest, so.
Don't talk about that.
But sometimes Michael's my superstar helper and I need him to check papers for me, especially when Ashwin's gone, because I don't have anyone to stamp. So, you know me and the stamper don't get along. All right, so if we multiply the bottom by 9, we gotta stay consistent, we gotta multiply the top. So when you change a fraction, you got to change the top and the bottom to keep it like balanced, like a scale. All right. So what about over here? How would we make the bottom 90 over here? Good. What do you guys think you have to do with the top? Yep. So we have 9/90 plus 10/90. The ones where they're working together are a little bit easier when you're solving for their together time, but it's not always like that. Just keep that in mind. So 1/together time equals 9/90 plus 10/90. Does anybody know how you can add those two fractions now that they have the same denominator?
The 9 and 10.
So 9 plus 10 is going to go on the top. And this is where a calculator might come in handy. So you're going to do 19 divided by 90. Has anybody got one? You could do it in this type of problem in a phone calculator just fine. Okay, so it came out 0.2, but that's 1/together time. So if 1/together time, my apologies, I just realized you technically didn't need to divide it. If 1/together time equals 19/90, what do you think we should do with these numbers if we want to find together time, not 1/together time? You're close. Think inverse of a fraction. Flip them. Very good. I didn't really expect anyone to know that off the top of my head, but when you have a 1 on the top, you guys were close to divide, you're going to flip them. So you don't have to do, you can flip them first and then divide it. That'll be a little easier. So my apologies, you don't have to divide them first, you can flip them. So if we flip them, we'll have together time equals 90/19. Let's see if that works out a little better for us. Yeah. So what does that 4.7 mean? That's our answer, but what does that mean? Yeah, If it turns out some outrageous number like 40 or 50, then you know like you probably did it incorrectly, or even 0.2 would have been too short a time, right? So when you do it, just ask yourself, is that realistic? We got, you know, people taking 9 hours and 10 hours to paint a fence. When they work together, it should take about half the time realistically. So at the end, the flipperoo part is the step you don't want to miss. They're all very similar. Sometimes you have to solve for together time, or sorry, one person's time. So I want to look at one where it asks how long will it take someone to do it by themselves. Does anybody want to try number 2 though for candy before we do number 3 or 4? Or I told you if you could help me with 2, I'll give you one of my awesome granola bars. I just really like them. They're probably too healthy for you guys because these are worth more money than the candy are. These are my kind dark chocolate nuts and sea salt. Okay, so if you do 2 problems, I'll give you one of these, but they are so good. And my unborn child and I really like these. So you have to really prove it to, you know, you're not just taking from me, you're taking from me and the kid. Okay. You're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Just keep your granola bars. But seriously, I could buy more. It's fine. We're on a budget. It's cool. So if you do 2, you can get one of these fabulous, delicious. Oh my God, they're so good. The more I look at them, the more I'm craving them. I'm just they're gonna stay in the drawer, so don't look at them too much. But if you're like, those look nasty, I'd rather just have Starburst. Okay, then you can just do some work problems. That's fine. Anybody want to try it? Either set it up on the board. I'll put my mask up if you're coming up here just to respect your space. But if anyone wants to walk me through it, that also counts. Any takers? Everybody wants my candy? Everybody in geometry wanted it. What's up? How many minutes behind were we already today late? You should have done that during the break. Okay, make it snappy. I'm going to have you do a problem when you get back. Because you did so good on Friday and you helped my Friday geometry people. Is very helpful. Man, you get your lady friend a lot. Not trying to be embarrassing, but that's a lot of tamps. Okay, next one. I'm glad you thought my joke was funny, but it was just like it's a lot of tamps. All right, so Joe can sweep a porch in 8 minutes. Dan can sweep the same porch in 12. How long will it take them together? Who wants to try it? You want to try it on the board, or you want to walk me through it? Either way, I got Starburst for you. Or special granola bar if you do 2. Granola bars are really good. I'm really selling it. Well, number 3 and 4, I was going to show 3, but you can do 4 as well. It's up to you. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, so I don't know the equation. I just kind of plug in that point.
Okay. So I'll write the formula down for you. So no problem, you're good. So this is your formula. You got person 1, person 2, and together time. Yeah, like, so are we solving for a specific person, or are we solving for together time? Yeah, together time. How long will it take them together? So let's go ahead and plug our numbers in. So where would you like to plug the 8 and the 12?
8 goes into the first person.
Yeah, you're good.
The second person.
Perfect. Good job.
Slow boy.
Well, they're just different paces, as long as that job gets done, right? We all work at different paces, right?
And multiply 8 by 3 and 12 by 2. Now they common out like 24.
Yeah, I'm really glad that Michael brought this up. So you could just stick with the 12 and the 8 if you wanted to, like we did on this one. But if you want smaller numbers, you can pick any number so you get the same denominator. Will it throw anybody off by chance if we make them both into 24? Is that gonna set anybody off? Not make you angry, but make you
I am
confused.
triggered.
Okay, they said it's fine. If you want to do the first one by 12 and the second one by 8, I'm also okay with that. All right, so if we want it to be a 24, you're multiplying this one by 3 and this one by 2, you said? Okay. All right. And then what did you do to the top of the? Okay, perfect. I'm so glad you did this one with the least common, what is that called? Least common denominator? I don't know that maths B stuff like as well. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. We don't talk about that. So
That's all right.
1 over together time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is equal to 3/24 over 2/24 or plus 2/24.
You got it. You're doing it great.
Okay, and then you add those two together, gives you 5/24, which then you flip, get just together time, not 1 over. So it's not, yeah, not 1 over.
Okay.
And then you reduce that, which gives you a total of together time equals 4.
Oh, you kept it a fraction. Could I make it a decimal if I just want to keep it?
Simple.
Yeah. Anyone know what that is as a decimal? You got a calculator, you got a calculator. Either like Taylor, Sean, or I see you guys got calculators. 24 divided by 5. Anybody got that one? 4.8. Good. Okay, perfect. I'm fine with fraction as well. I just thought make it as easy as possible. Good. Okay. You want me to come bring you the Starburst packs? You can pick out what you want, or you want to come get it. Either way. Either way works.
I still want that bar though.
Oh, you're like, I really want to try. I really sold that, didn't I? That's
I
good.
really want that bar.
Do you want to try number 3? Do you want to try number 3? I want to make sure they don't have any questions first, though, so I'm going to keep it here for a second.
Let me take a look.
I need a couple tic tacs.
I think this should be simple. No, let's try it.
Do you guys have any questions on Taylor? Go for it. Oh, okay, never mind. Getting the rotator cuff. That's a good one. That's a good one. Sorry, I forgot to do my due diligence real quick.
No, oh, okay, I figured it out. I think I got it. I think I got it. I think that. I think that's it.
Okay, I had to do my due diligence. Thank you. Any questions about that? Does anybody prefer to see number 2 with the 8 and the 12 instead of making it a 24? Okay, so just full disclosure, you don't have to find the least common denominator. Yeah.
I got 24 for the first.
Oh, let's go ahead and work out number 2 the way Taylor did it real quick, okay? And then you're both gonna get candy because that's gonna help some people. So Taylor, how do you set yours up? Oh, you did it with the 8 and the 12, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. 8, 12. So you did yours like this. I think some people might like this a little bit better. I mean, I agree. I'm with Michael, like the smaller I can keep the numbers, the better. But did anybody want to do it this way, times 12, times 12? Like the first problem? Okay, well, Taylor did. So let's see what you got. What did you get when you multiplied the 8 by the 12?
I did it that way too.
Oh, you went and erased it. Okay. You didn't have to. You were probably right. So it was 96 was the denominator. Okay. So you could have done it this way instead. So if anybody wants to jot this, you don't have a lot of room on here, but you can do it towards the bottom if you want to see this way instead. Good job, Taylor. So what's what you get if you add
20.
okay. So 12 over 96, and then did you flip it at the end?
Yeah.
And what did it turn out
See, I
if you do
forgot
that?
to add. That's what I forgot to do.
Oh, so it should get the same answer though, right?
Well, I got 24.
Hmm.
Because I forgot to flip it. No, I mean, I forgot to add 12 and 8. I don't remember when I switched it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you got it now.
Yeah, I got it now.
Is that still 4.8 or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. You guys see the difference between how Taylor did his and how Michael did his, and they got the same answer?
Oh.
It's pretty cool. So if you're a person that says, I really don't want to bring back memories of what I did in Garrett's class, I can just stick with, I know some of you guys didn't have Mr. Garrett, but if you've taken our whole math sequence here, I don't know if anybody's in that boat. Yeah, so like Mr. Garrett probably taught you least common denominator, is that it? Okay, perfect. So if you want to stick with the way Michael did it, least common denominator, you can. If you want to stick how Taylor did it, like we did number 1, you can do that. They're both perfectly right. Thank you for bringing that up, Taylor, that you got different answers so we could do it to make sense. And maybe it's just, you know, I have a ton of these stickies. If you show a problem both ways, maybe just write it on a sticky and then ask yourself, which way do I like better when you're doing your work? I can keep that up there for a minute. Sorry, I didn't mean to move it. Good job. I'm impressed. Very good. Okay, so number 3 and 4 are slightly different. Are you, what's up
I had no idea how to.
with number 3?
Yeah, I tried to figure it out. but
How about I do 3 and you do 4 and you can still get your bar?
I bet.
Okay, so number 3, maybe someone else wants to guess on it, setting it up. Kayla can tar a roof in 13 hours. I'm not 100% sure what that means. Is that like just redoing the roof? What does tarring mean?
I think it's like the sticky stuff, like shingles.
Oh, see, you guys teach me something new every day.
I think it's just a strip on the back of the shingle that's sticky. And you just peel it.
Oh, okay, okay. So they're tarring a roof. They're pretty much getting the roof good to go. How long does it take them together? Jenny helped her and it only took 6.96 hours. So for this one, what information do you know about your problem? Do you know person 1, person 2, together time? What kind of information do you know that they gave you already? Okay, we could call Kayla person 1. Do you think it matters who's person 1 or person 2? Good. So we can make Kayla person 1. And how do we know that we have the together time? Because Jenny helped her. Okay, and we don't know person 2. So it may be a little trickier to find the, what's it called? The least common denominator here, but could you just take the numbers that you have and multiply them by the opposite? So like if you have 6.96 over here and you have 13 over here, couldn't you just take like 13 times this
I made this more complicated.
and 6? Can you just multiply by a decimal, right? That's how I would do it because I don't really care to make that a fraction. Oh, did you try to make it like 6 and 96 over 100 or something?
I put 6.96 into a fraction. of 1 over.
That's how I would have done it at first too,
That's what I
see?
thought. I was like, this doesn't seem right, but we're gonna try it anyways.
Hey, you did it. I'll call it the more nerdy way, but I'm a nerd, so I'm not calling anybody a nerd. If I call you a nerd, I think that's a pretty good compliment. That means I like consider us on the same kind of wavelength that day. So if I call you a nerd, it's a compliment.
You nerd.
You're excessively nerdy today, just take it as a compliment. It's pretty much just as awesome as being called beautiful. It's like, you're excessively, I'm impressed by your intelligence. I think if someone told me that, I'd be like, all right, thank you. Thanks for the compliment. All right, so we're gonna multiply this stuff up. So you guys got calculators, 13 times 6.97. Or 6, sorry, that's 6. Can't read. So we're gonna multiply that and see what we get, put it on the bottom. I'm not really sure about that. I know 1 times 13 is 13. Okay, good. Thank you for your help with these decimals. Everyone who contributes to this problem is gonna get a piece of candy. So feel free to calculate for me. I like it. What about 13? Oh, never mind. Never mind. You told me that already. I'm sorry. Thank you. All right. So I multiplied all that stuff you guys asked me to do. Now, if they have the same denominator, and I want to get this 1T2 by itself, this is a little tricky, but you guys are really smart, so I know you can do it. If I want to get this alone, how am I going to get this thing over to this side? Subtract. So instead of adding these two, since this is going to go over here and kick it with the 13, I'm going to do 13 minus 6.96 over the denominator. Now it's by itself. Great work. Good. It's just a little trickier. So if it's on opposite sides, you subtract them. If they're on the same side, you add them. Opposite subtract. Sounds like opposites attract. Kind of cute. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Anybody know what this combined is right here? Could you repeat it to me one more time? And then what is 6.04 times, what's up? What time is it? We're getting so close to getting done with the examples.
It'll be like less than 5 minutes. You just have to get something from her.
Are you getting snacks? Oh, I got excited. I thought maybe you're gonna bring snacks for the class. I got a little excited. Okay, nothing dramatic outside. I'm not gonna get in trouble if I send you out there. Okay, because I take no responsibility. I'm in an adult high school. Okay. But if you ever want to pick up like donuts sometime for us, I'm just you know, if you ever just want to be like, hey, so-and-so, can you drop us some nachos, but for the whole class? Sure, I'll take it. It's fine. Yeah, I'd be like, okay, like anybody's significant other ever want to bring by some snacks, extra for the class? I'm not going to be opposed. Do you guys got, oh, we got to flip it before we divide. So what do you get if you flip it and you divide it? This one was a little bit harder. I'm gonna leave it up here so you can see it, Mac, and then we can get questions on it too. Okay, so someone divide that and we'll have our final answer. 14. Does that make sense? Because Jenny and her friend take 6.96 hours. Kayla takes 13. So is it really benefiting Kayla to work with her friend if Kayla can do it in 13 hours?
No.
Oh, shoot. It actually kind of still, never mind. It still helps her. My bad. I misread that because it takes them 6.96 together. But who's the faster person, Kayla or Jenny? Kayla. So Kayla's 13 hours, Jenny's 14. So just to rehash how we did that, but just go through it, you know, real slow, make sure everyone got it. Here's the formula, just same as last time, okay? And if if you struggle to read a certain part, I know my handwriting's messy, just let me know. So you always use this formula. You put their together time in the TB. It's not the tetanus shot or anything like that. It's just together time. When I think TB, I think of that one shot, but it's together time. And then you put Kayla's time and you're trying to solve for Jenny's time because we don't know Jenny's time by herself. So you take whatever number's here and you multiply it by both of those. You take whatever number's here, you multiply it by both of those. So you have the same denominator. And then if they're on opposite sides, opposites subtract. So you have to get this by itself. So you subtract the 6.96. That's why we subtracted. At the end, can someone explain this part, like why we flipped it? We got the flipperoo step.
Because you have to get the first and second time.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Yep. So you have to get the second person's time. This is not squared, by the way. It's a subscript. It should be in the bottom. That's my apologies, but yes. Okay, so I know that Ivy helped with that one and Michael, but if anyone wants to do number 4, now is the moment to shine. Is this yes, you could get that awesome granola bar. I know when I give you one, I might have to eat one myself because I'm starting to crave the Kind bar. I mean, there's plenty on the back, so after you guys work on your own a little bit, if someone wants to get a candy, they can write it up. Oh, I mean, whatever floats your boat, whatever floats your boat. Is this enough space for you? Is this good? Probably, I think the people online got enough of that.